I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go, another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. It's Monday, June 9th. We welcome you into the show, kiddos. Thank you for watching and listening live on YouTube, on Twitter, Puck Sports mobile app. That's right, we've got an app downloaded today to your iPhone or your Android phone from the Google Play Store and the iOS Store. If you get into the show later, of course, everything's podcast up on YouTube right at noon. And, of course, on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. All right, we've got the losing streak is over. It's U.S. Open week. Bill Krueger hopefully is back this week. Fingers crossed on that one. The Sports Pit, we'll give you a little taste of Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson. God, it was another lengthy one. So we'll give you 20 minutes of that coming up a little bit later in the show. Of course, we're broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios right in the back of my left shoulder. Contractors, they got free deliveries. Everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give Limback Lumber a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. And they had a wonderful employee appreciation golf tournament this weekend that we were a part of. God, it was great on Saturday. Great little course there up in Marysville. Of course, you can follow me on all the social media platforms, Puck Sports on X and Instagram, Puck_sports there on TikTok and Facebook. And again, pucksports.com. Sign up to be a Pucks Posse member, $5 a month. You don't miss a single thing. Get all the free stuff we do, plus the bonus shows that we do as well. He's with us on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, and he solved the virtual background is gone because he is a computer wizard.
Look at that,
ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that.
Wow,
I don't even lift weights. Look
at you. Look at that.
Almost 68. Look at that bicep. Go Cougs, baby.
Great bicep.
Go fucking Cougs now.
Have you had a cocktail this morning? You seem a little bit.
No. I'm so proud of myself today, though, Puck. You know why, don't you? Because look at the background. It's normal.
Yeah, you did a great job.
The microphone works.
Works. You are like 9 million feet away from the microphone, but that's okay.
Well, I don't know. I asked you if you could hear me okay. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound great. Great.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm brought to you by Clean Streak. Did you know that? Professional window and exterior cleaning service out of Oak Harbor. If you've never been to Oak Harbor, you got to get up there and check it out on Whidbey Island. They're proudly serving a Clean Streak is the island in Skagit counties for more than 10 years. They'll clean your roof. They'll do everything for you. They'll walk the dog. They will unclog your gutters. Brian Turner and his capable crew can do it all for you. Don't do pressure washing. God, it's too hot to go out there and pressure wash. Let them do it for you at cleanstreak.com. For a free estimate, call 360-395-5748.
My hearing might be bad. Are you on the computer microphone or actually the microphone?
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me here?
Oh, there you go. Okay, you are on the actual microphone. Okay, I just didn't know.
God, you're always trying to find fault.
No,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not.
I'm so proud. I'm sitting here proud of myself, and it's kind of like the guy that goes 4 for 4, but he, didn't see a base or something. Yeah.
I just want to make sure you sound great. You fix it. Where are we at? What room are we in here? The guest room?
We're in the room with the Murphy bed that comes out of the wall.
Oh, yeah. I want one of those. I've always wanted a Murphy bed.
And you think that a Murphy bed probably isn't all that comfortable, just like the old school Heidi beds aren't that comfortable, but the Murphy bed here is pretty nice.
Good. Well,
got a little TV in the background there behind my head there. You see that?
I see it. I've never been on a Murphy bed, but the Heidi beds, there's not one Heidi bed that's comfortable. Not one.
No, you
always have the bar. You always have there's always
2025. It's 2025. I think they've done better with Heidi beds. The thing about Heidi beds, you don't like sleeping on them and you don't like moving them.
Oh God, no. You can't move them. How do you move them?
They're no fun to move. It's a great idea. Hey, we got a Heidi bed. You can stay with us. Sure. No, thanks.
No, I would move myself, but I would hire someone just to move a Heidi bed. Can you just move that for me, please? Because I don't want to move.
It saves, back issues that you're going to have if you're trying to move. No, the Murphy bed. Try the Murphy bed sometime.
Okay. Well, but then you got to build it. I don't know if I got enough space for that. I should. I don't know. I like Emerson. I like it just pops down from the wall. It's great.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Good weekend?
It was a great weekend. It was busy. God, it was busy. Oh my Lord, there was a lot going on.
Well, you had to get that golf round in.
Well, I had to get that golf round in. Well, it is and we covered this on this week's Sports Bit because it's with Sandmeyer and Stretch. We did it last night. It's the season of, and you remember this probably when a bunch of your friends were turning 50. It's the year, or it's been the season of 50th birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
And now so there's a lot of those going on, which are great and they're fun. Then the 50th birthday parties are morphing also, because it's this time of year, now into the graduation party. So we're into 50th birthday season and now graduation party season. So it was just a busy weekend.
It's a good time, man. Turning 50 is great. Those graduation parties are a lot of fun. The kids going off to school for the first time, and embrace all of it is what I would say, Puck.
Yeah. 2 50th birthday parties, a graduation party. Big thanks to Paul and Mark and Matt for having me and my buddies out for the Limback Lumber golf scramble. Kind of appreciation for their vendors and also their employees. Wonderful. Cedar Crest. You played Cedar Crest in Marysville.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Usually when I would make it up that way, though, I'd go out to Kayak Point.
Which is no longer around.
Rest in peace, man. Kayak Point was great fun.
Yeah.
Cedar Crest is nice too, though.
Wonderful course. Wonderful. I mean, a little bit of drive up there, but what isn't a drive when you live in Seattle? Everything's a drive. It takes me 50 minutes just to get to the freeway from here, so it doesn't matter. And it was a great weekend to have the bridge closed again. This was a double whammy. I think on Saturday, not only was the Ballard Bridge closed, and then for a period of time, the Fremont Bridge was somehow stuck. So you couldn't get across. You couldn't leave if you wanted to leave. You couldn't leave.
Well, what do you expect when you live in Ballard, man? I mean, do I have to say that over and over and over again? Does anybody sit out there in the listening audience and think, God, I really sympathize with Puck? Hell no. He moved to Ballard. When you move to Ballard, you have to expect that you're going to have traffic issues.
I know, but Jesus, man.
Have you had the boat out?
The boat, the boat. You'll appreciate this. I got first time was yesterday afternoon.
See, that's how rich he is on pucksports.com, Puck's Posse, all the Spotifys. Look at how rich he is. He can afford a boat. He's got a slip down there at Ballard Marina.
Yeah, a 22-year-old ski boat that sometimes starts, sometimes doesn't.
I've been on that boat. That boat's nice as hell.
It's a nice little boat.
Yeah, it is.
So the teenager was like, hey, me and the friends want to go out on the boat. Can we go? We want to go inner tubing. Like, okay. All right. But, to get from Ballard all the way out to Lake Washington, because you got to go 7 knots, which is like 2 miles an hour. It feels like it's like an hour. It's like it takes an hour to get out there.
Yeah. But what's Mary Lou? Is she 15 or 16?
16 years old.
Well, let her just take the boat by herself with her friends.
No, God, no.
Why do you say God, no? When I was growing up on Lake Sammamish, I was driving that boat when I was 12.
Well, good by yourself?
With my buddies.
You were 12 years old on a boat by yourself?
I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I know I was doing it at 14.
Okay, well, there's no way. No way would I let her take him. Because she can't drive
she
can't even drive a car, let alone a boat.
Well, there's more room to screw up out on water.
Yeah, just no. Hard pass. No.
Does she ask you to do it?
No. No, she wants to get her license. I'm like, well, get your boater's license, but I'm not letting her take that.
Do you need I guess you need a boater license now?
Yeah, technically you do. How many people do you think out there actually got their boater's license? Probably slim to none. So we get out there. Oh, we want to go inner tubing. Okay, well, let's go inner tubing. And of course, you know what happens? We go out, we inner tube probably for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And then the 3 teenagers are like, we don't want to do anymore. Can you take us to South Lake Union and drop us off?
Yeah. Yeah,
sure.
What's wrong with that?
Realize, because I'm telling you, to get from that marina to Lake Washington, it takes like an hour. You can go out there to Lake Washington. I'm out there for 25 minutes, and they're like, can you take us back to South Lake Union? Which takes like another 45 minutes to get back. I was just a little annoyed.
What else did you have going on? Wasn't it 90 degrees?
It was hot. God,
You're
it
with
was
your
hot.
you're with your kid and her friends, and you're out on a boat.
Yeah.
You sound like a shitty dad, man.
Well, yeah, I am. I like to complain. You started the show with it. I like to complain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like
It's good.
a
It was
rough
hot.
weekend being out
Yeah,
on
it
the
was.
boat and playing
It was
golf,
playing
busy,
golf,
going to
rough
parties
weekend,
and drinking.
It was
Jesus.
rough. But it was also just. I mean, boy, I mixed a couple of cocktails that I just don't think have ever belonged with one another over a day period. Modelo,
Yeah.
Prosecco,
Okay.
and tequila.
Okay.
Yeah,
Those are all good.
they're good, but I don't know if really they should be combined at one point. Not all at once, but during a period of, during an 18-hour period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
almost 50, you got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, you do have to slow down a little bit, don't you? When you get old, you have to, because you can't recover like you once did. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's are you officially thinking, because you don't turn 50 till December, but that's
December 5th.
that's really an age. I remember when I woke up on my 50th birthday and I thought,
Right.
and I ran a half marathon that day, by the way.
Good.
So
God.
get with it. Start training, okay?
So you think I should run a half marathon on my 50th birthday?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun to watch you in that. But I do remember waking up.
What do you mean by fun? What do you mean by fun?
You can't get away with saying you're middle age anymore when you turn 50.
No, what do you say?
That's kind of the doorstep of actually being an older man at 50. Even though I'd kill for being 50 right now, since I'm going to be 68 in a couple weeks.
You look great for 68, though.
50's a good age. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You look great. I can't believe you're not lifting. How do you get biceps like that? Show the audience the biceps again. Look at these things, folks. Look at those
Cougs.
things, huh?
Go Cougs.
Yeah.
I'm just out with the dogs all the time.
I don't have that. Look, that's
yes, you do.
That's kind of
my left one's not. My left one kind of. Well, my left one's not too bad.
No, your left one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Look at my left one. Yeah, that's not bad. Look
Boy,
at that.
Boy, that's
Look at
good
you. What are
radio,
you
isn't it?
doing, huh? This is
I'm
good.
not
It's
doing
not
anything.
radio. We're not on radio.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like radio.
We're influencers. Let's go.
We're influencers. Yeah.
We're building our brand.
By the way, if you want me to seamlessly, transition back to whatever we're supposed to be talking to and promoting the hell out of you, because you take the first 5 minutes of every podcast talking about how you can make more money. But
support pay me money so I can fill up gas in my boat.
And play golf.
Golf. Hey, by the way, let me just finish this Limback Lumber. I want to thank Limback Lumber. So invite us out. It's just employees, and then it's all the people that do business there. And we, of course, we do business at Limback Lumber Studios. We get out there, and it's 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, hey, they covered everything. You didn't have to pay for a thing out there. My buddy comes back. He's got it's 8:00. He's got a bucket full of Modelo, and he's like, I go, did you pay for those? He goes, no, they're free. All of it. He looks at me dumbfounded. He goes, all of it's free. All of it. And that at that moment at 8:00, our day took a turn, because I'm like, well, if it's free, you take advantage of free.
Yeah, there's something about free that you don't have to have it just because it's free, but you feel like you should.
You feel like you take advantage of it.
Yeah. I told you that was the last time I puked from alcohol, right? Back in Puerto Rico.
Modelo?
No, it's just a golf media trip where everything's comped and they give you booze left and right. Every time you turn around, hey, you want another cocktail, Jim? Oh, God, it's free. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm puking in my Puerto Rico hotel room, and I'm thinking, that's a bad look when you're throwing up at 53 from alcohol. If you're in Pullman at the Krueger or something and you're puking, that's one thing. But when you're a grown-ass adult puking into a garbage can in a hotel room, yeah.
That's not good.
So what's the last time you puked from booze? 45? Did you do it in your 40s at all?
No.
Because that's kind of pathetic too.
No.
But 50s is officially pathetic if you're puking.
I honestly, I don't know.
You didn't puke in your 30s?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No.
And then some people
I got a pretty good thing. I'd start to know that I've had too much. I have a pretty good, let's pull the ripcord and get out.
The one thing I've never understood about alcohol and puking is when I puke, I'm done. I am done for 24 hours. Right?
I see.
Some people puke and then they're like, "Hey, I feel pretty good," and then they go back at it again. I've never understood that.
The old puke and rally. Yeah, no.
Never understood that one.
You gotta be out. You gotta be out on that one. So where you were going to transition to something else?
Oh, I was going to transition. I was out on a trail this morning along the river with the dogs. No issues whatsoever today.
Good.
Listening to the Sports Pit. Yeah, I listened to the Sports Pit.
You already listened to it?
Yeah, it was on Mitch Unfiltered because you guys are going back and forth.
You mean last week's show? Was
it last week's show?
Yeah,
it might have been because it was the golden shower story that Sandmeyer told with Barbara Hedges.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that was 2 weeks ago, or not 2 weeks. Last week when Mitch was on the Sports Pit. Yeah. So he's used it. He's using it on his platform.
And I know why you like it so much. Not only are those guys terrific, they are Stretch and Sandy and Mitch, of course, Sure. But the reason you like it is because you don't have to say anything.
I don't.
You just sit there and you just sit back for an hour and a half and just listen, basically. Right? Yeah.
And I think the audience enjoys that.
I know. At one point, Mitch is like asking you to drive the show or something. And you're like,
especially on that one, I told them, I said, most of the time, no one is here to hear me. They are here to watch and hear and listen to you, not me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shut up, and you guys just go at it. Yeah.
No, and
what did you like about it?
Well, just all the stories, and it's kind of fun to go behind the scenes of shows that we used to listen to and finding out what's going on during commercial breaks and all those different things. I mean, and then the one guy, I think it was Clark Strauss, the story about calling to try and get Dan Quisenberry on the air after he died. I mean, come on.
I don't know if
it's not funny. It's not funny at all at the time. But I remember 1 year in fantasy football when one guy in our draft, he chose J.V. Kane, a tight end that played for the Cardinals way back when, and he had died in the offseason. And so everybody bursts out laughing over that. And it's just, I don't know. I found that pretty comical. And then to be talking to Quisenberry's wife, I mean, that's. You talk about awkward moments. You can't get any more awkward than that.
Well, what I appreciate about them, and I think you appreciate the same thing, is all three of them are just why they are so good and why they were so good and still are so good is they're master storytellers.
Oh, they're terrific.
They're just so good. They're so good.
Well, I don't know why Sandmeyer's not in it anymore. Because I worked with him briefly over at 710 one summer, and he was trying to get a job and I was trying to hang on to mine. And I thought we were going to work together and I was looking forward to it. I think it would have been fun working with him. God, the guy's he's terrific.
I just think sometimes I think he burned out on it and it was time to move on. And I think he did it for a long period of time, longer than most people do it. And then I think he just decided that, enough is enough,
Yeah.
Maybe go earn some real money.
Well, I'm glad he's back. If it's just for a week with you, and Stretch has always been entertaining as hell too. Crossed paths with him when he was working for the Seahawks, and he was the one Seahawks PR guy I knew that kind of liked me and would tolerate me, but the rest of them had no use for me. So I was always happy to run into Stretch over there.
He was.
I remember Lane and Dave, and they were just like Rich. I think it was.
I remember when he got the job initially. I'm like, oh man, he's one of my favorite people, one of my favorite friends, and I'm like, please don't let it change him. Please.
I thought Pearson had poisoned him.
Please don't let it change him, and it didn't. And he was the same old Stretchy, and he still is the same old Stretchy. So I'm glad you liked it. How about that Barbara Hedges golden shower story, huh?
Well, and just the way that Steve told it, and we've all been in those situations where someone says something that you want to burst out laughing or at least break a smile, and you can't, and it's like restraining a sneeze or something when you have one coming. You can't do it, but you tell yourself, shit, you better do it this time because you can't be laughing when Barbara Hedges seriously asks you what a golden shower is. You want to, but you can't.
So
especially
good.
when Steve was saying that he was, covering women's hoop, doing the play-by-play for them. So the possibility of losing his job was pretty high at that point.
Well, they are. So that episode is for Puck's Posse members. It's available. You can sign up at pucksports.com. If you are a Mitch Unfiltered subscriber already, you can. I've got the video and audio. Mitch just has the audio. You can also listen to it there as well. Also, a new Sports Pit came out early this morning. We recorded it yesterday, and that was another long one. That was an hour and 40 minutes. These are supposed to be an hour. We just kept talking. I can't even remember how we got started talking about Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum out of Liberty High.
Tim Lincecum came up in yesterday's show, and Brandon Morrow. I think I was just because Sandmeyer just hated the fact that the Mariners took Morrow over Lincecum that year it was coming out. And I think the last 35 minutes of the show are just about Tim Lincecum. And he's telling the story about when Lincecum went down to Arizona State, I think when he was a freshman or a sophomore, pitching down there. And we just deep dive into Lincecum. And then we are all like, where is he? Like, he has fallen off the map. He has gone into hiding. He's a very private person. Like, you haven't heard from Tim Lincecum.
Do you think he's back in our area?
Steve, that's what Steve doesn't know. Steve's like, I have no idea. I have no clue. Grew up, I think, in Bellevue, right? Went to Liberty.
Yeah, he might have been Maple Valley.
Yeah, and was gone. I mean, gone. That's a
three-time. He was the best pitcher for what, a 2 or 3 year period?
Like a 4 year period. Like a 4 year period.
What did he win? Two Cy Youngs?
2 Cy Youngs, 3 World Series championships.
And just somebody that everybody could root for too, because he was just not very big.
Small, had that kind of funky little delivery, a little over the top delivery. Remember, his dad kind of honed his own skills, and he's going to break down. He's not going to survive in Major League Baseball. Ends up, pitching 10 years in the bigs.
Yeah. Since you brought his name up, I was thinking about when you have Lofa on during the season and asking Lofa about how many guys are stoned when they play in the NFL. And I found that interesting, but I'll bet you Lincecum was on the mound a time or two when he was high. Don't you think? Oh God, yes.
I don't know.
Well,
sure.
Isn't he like a well-known weed smoker? I mean, not that I care.
I don't know if he is or not.
I think so.
He looks smart.
If I'm wrong about that, oh well.
You know what? If you're wrong about it, who cares? We'll just move on and be like, all right, who cares? We'll move on.
Jim's getting old. He just fucked up again.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The losing streak is over. We should have popped champagne. It's finally over. They snapped it yesterday with a dominating pitching performance from George Kirby. 14 strikeouts, no walks. He joins. It was a great little nugget, that they came up with. That was in the paper. I'm sure it was from the Mariners PR staff, but he joins 2 of the pitchers to have 14 strikeouts and no walks in a game. Randy Johnson and
Mike Moore.
Ooh, Mark Langston.
Oh God, remember Mike Moore though, or maybe you were too young.
No, I remember him.
Yeah. Mike Moore, right-hander out of I think it was Oklahoma somewhere.
Okay,
but God, so Langston was there to see it yesterday.
Yeah, Langston was there to see it. He saw it in person. So it's good win there for George Kirby. He needed it. He was kind of, those first few weren't great, but he was working through things, right? He was treating it like a spring training game. In fact, I talked to Bill Krueger. He'll be on the show later. We recorded in the morning, and I think it's fully uploaded now, thankfully. He was very hot and bothered of how they've treated their pitchers on these rehabs. Very hot and very opinionated is Bill Krueger of Old School Baseball. He doesn't he doesn't like how they're using like their rehab starts up here. Like they go on a few rehab starts, but then they do a few more up here. And he's like, stop doing that. Just do them all in Tacoma. And then when they're ready to come back, they should be ready to go 7 innings and throw 100+ pitches.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling us this, because I thought you would say, to find out, you're going to have to listen later for another $5.
It's not $5. Bill's free. Listen.
Oh, Bill's free? Why is Bill free? Bill's good.
Not able to go inner tubing anymore on Saturdays and Sundays if people don't pay.
So he actually thinks that Kirby, the last 3 times that he pitched before yesterday, that they were like rehab starts and they should have been That's what he should have been
Well,
doing.
they kind of were. I mean, you go back and look at his pitch count in those first couple starts. They were treating it like that. He's like, they got to stop doing that. They've got to once he comes up, he's got to be ready to go.
Well, does he feel like Gilbert is on the right path? Because they're giving Gilbert one more rehab start in Tacoma.
It's the same thing. He's like, when he's up, he's got to be ready to be able to pitch 7 innings and 100 pitches, and it can't be one of these pitch count things. So.
Well, wasn't it most encouraging yesterday because you started wondering, God, I wonder if Kirby's going to be the old George Kirby ever again. At least I wondered that, especially when you see his ERA over 8. And you like to think, well, okay, he's just getting back into form, missed spring training, all those different things. But it's so weird to see a guy that is so talented and doesn't walk people, doesn't go to 3-ball counts very often. And to see him do that, and then to get over that yesterday, get over that hump, and be the Kirby that we all are used to seeing.
That was great.
So, yeah, that was terrific.
It was that. It's good to see Rosarina. At least, hopefully, it's a small little 2 games, but maybe he's starting to heat up a little bit. A couple of doubles there yesterday because God, they desperately need him. I mean, we've talked about this, how many holes that they've got in this lineup right now that they've had all year long, but they've had guys playing out of their asses. In the beginning of the season, one was Polanco. Then Polanco but handed the baton over to Cal Raleigh, and Cal Raleigh, which again, another monster weekend for Cal Raleigh, hits 2 more home runs. I mean, this guy's on an absurd heater. And Bill Krueger, I think, uttered one of the greatest lines during the show today. He says, I was talking about the MVP race. He said, quote, Aaron Judge plays in a Williamsport Park and stands in right field. His point was, he goes, it's not even close who the MVP of the American League is.
Wow. A little league park.
Little league. He plays in a little league park.
Yeah, well, I think stuff like that needs to come out more and more often because sure as hell the tiebreaker is going to go to Aaron Judge. If this continues the way it's going, the big market Yankees, Aaron Judge, everybody knows who he is. I'll bet you there are baseball fans back east that don't even know who Cal Raleigh is. Not yet. They should by now. Yeah. I mean, yesterday when Judge hit 2 home runs, it was like his 22nd and 23rd. I'm going, well, okay, but he's still 3 behind our guy.
It's not close who plays the tougher position. Cal Raleigh plays the toughest position in the game.
Well, couldn't you argue too? Like, okay, and then we talk about most valuable player for the entire league, but you can also say most valuable player for your team. If the Yankees lost to Aaron Judge, they still would be pretty decent, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Where would the Mariners be with Mitch Garver starting every day?
And a dumpster is where they would be. An absolute dumpster.
Well, if Raleigh got hurt or if he wasn't here, you'd bring up Ford and try and cobble something together with Ford and Garver. But I mean, that just shows you how bad the lineup is that they have Mitch Garver as the cleanup guy yesterday. That's your 4-hitter. Yeah. I'm not anyone that I feel bad for Mitch Garver. Like I don't trash on him. I mean, because I know he used to be a good player, huh? No, I know.
We're not piling him on as a person.
But he was a good player in Texas. They won a World Series with him being an important part of that, and to come here. But we've seen that over and over and over again. So it's, I mean, he's not as bad. Is he as bad as Colton Wong? God, are there other cities where guys go to and they were good before that and then get here? I mean, you can go back. You can name a million different guys. Jeff Cirillo comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other organizations, other teams that this happens to. I mean, and part of it, the reason is because they get these guys when they've crested. They're coming down. Why? Because they're cheaper. I mean, they have. I know,
but don't you feel like if they trade a Garver at the trading deadline, that wherever he goes, he'll be halfway decent compared to what he is now? Oh, you don't?
No, I think no, I don't. I mean,
isn't Ty France halfway decent for the Twins?
Is. Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right with your thinking. It's just they gotta. I mean, where Polanco is right now. At least Polanco had 2 more hits yesterday, so maybe he can get back on not quite to the level of where he was at, but
the guy who really sucks. I feel bad for is Tavares.
Oh yeah, God. He's gonna be gone. He was a disaster in the outfield. Was that Saturday or Friday?
Oh, when he had to go to center field.
Oh, I can't even remember what day.
I feel like I wrote this down wrong, but I have him at 1 for his last 25.
Well, you're probably right. Yeah, he's going to be as soon as Raley's back, he's gone. I mean he's just there because they didn't have no other options. What else are they going to do? Nobody else they
Dylan
can put out
Moore.
there. Dylan Moore, everyone's favorite Dylan Moore.
Or Mastro.
Master boating. Yeah, I mean that's just
this team always has so many good utility players,
Yeah.
And then if worse comes to worse, you got Rivas, you can bring him back.
Oh yeah, I like a good utility player. I also guys you could put in a certain position, they stay there. Is that okay just to do that?
Yeah.
Possible at all that we can just do that? Well, at least they snapped it. They're 2.5 games back of the Astros. And again, what scares me about the Astros is this, like, they're not even that good. But the problem is that they've owned this division. And you eventually have got to get past them. And they're doing this. They're playing better. Pena's on a freaking stud right now. But Yordan Alvarez has done nothing. He's hurt. What if he comes back and he gets the Yordan Alvarez form?
Well, the Mariners don't have to be great this year to win the division. In the past, they always had to be great to win it. Really good wasn't going to cut it. But now you look at the rest of the teams in the division, it looks like 85 wins will win it.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Yeah, you're right. They don't have to be great. Yeah, they don't have to be great, but it's just that we expected this with the offense we've seen here, like in the what is it, more than a month now. The offense that we have seen is probably what we all thought was going to happen, like right away in the beginning of the season, and then it didn't. So then you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's going to be different. But it's it's
how about that 3-week stretch where they averaged 6 runs a game? I don't know how. I don't know how that even happened for a 1-week stretch, but
I'd like to get back to that. That was more fun.
That was a lot more fun.
That was more fun to watch. Hey, it's U.S. Open week. U.S. Open week. We'll have Travis Fulton will be back with us on Wednesdays. Puck to Picker Majors Pool. If you're still involved in that one, if you're playing, you got your picks in for the Masters and the PGA Championship. Now you've got the U.S. Open. You got to get those picks in this week before they tee it off there at Oakmont on Thursday, playing for the grand prize, by the way, a trip for 2 stay and play package at Gamble Sands. The second place prize for our season-long Puck to Picker Majors contest. The second place prize, a foursome at Fairwood Golf and Country Club. Third place is a foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. Fourth place, you get a choice of one of the Seattle Premier courses, which is now run by Troon, plus an hour-long top tracer range session at either Inner Bay, Jackson, or Jefferson, formerly Bill Wright Golf Course. So there you go. And it's all brought to you, by the way.
How'd you get the Mill Creek prize?
How'd I get the Mill Creek? It's all the Troon now runs Fairwood Golf and Country Club, runs Mill Creek.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And then part of Gamble Sands there as well. And it's all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest, my friend. Hey, you know what's a great thing about Father's Day? You know what your father wants, Jim? You know what you want? I know what you want.
I do.
Yeah. You want the perfect gift. You want to get a new lawn and a putting green from Synthetic Turf Northwest. Because here's what your dad doesn't want to do anymore. Your dad is tired of mowing the lawn and watering the lawn and having his weekends taken up by lawn care. Get rid of it. Synthetic Turf Northwest going to put in a new synthetic lawn and a putting green like we have in the backyard. So your dad's going to be free on the weekends, and now he's going to get better at golf. He's going to work on his putting. Going to help him in a scramble this past weekend, drain putts left and right. Get him the ultimate Father's Day gift, a brand new synthetic lawn from Synthetic Turf Northwest. Go visit them today, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. And again, they bring you Puck to Picker Majors Pool, our contest all season long. So who are you going to take this week? Don't give me the 15 names you're going to bet on. Just give me the one. Give me the one person you're going to put the most money on.
I'll give you one, but before I give you the one, this is my least favorite major. And
why?
I'll tell you why. I don't like seeing these guys getting beaten up out there. I don't want to watch the birdie fest like at Kapalua where Matsuyama won at 35 under. But I also don't want to see, level par, you'll be in the tournament. You know why you're level par when you're a professional golfer at a U.S. Open? Because they make it too difficult. The rough is too long. It's
Too
too
penal.
long. Yeah, penal. I was looking for that.
Penal.
Thank you.
Just sounds great. Instead of
yeah,
hard, penal sounds
I
much
don't
more
want to
fun.
watch these guys hacking out of the rough. I want the rough to be difficult, but I don't want to see them hacking it out. I don't like it. And I don't like, and neither do the pros. I read a story today that the pros aren't a fan of it. A 300-yard par 3. Come on. Would it be that bad if you said, because everyone likes a reachable par 4. Now, there aren't reachable par 4s for me anymore, unless it was like 240. I might be able to reach that. But no one likes a 300-yard par 3. The pros don't even like it. They think it's stupid. Yet at Oakmont this week, we're going to be subjected to watching these guys pulling out what? I mean, even what? DeChambeau will probably hit a 6-iron or something, but most of the guys will probably have to hit what? 5-wood or
I will
3-iron
say
or
the winner, the last few years, the winner has been, I mean, last year DeChambeau was 6 under, then Clark was 10 under, Fitzpatrick was 6 under, Rahm was 6 under, DeChambeau in 2020 was 6 under, Gary Woodland in 19 was 13 under. It hasn't been over par since 2018.
okay.
Brooks
Well,
Koepka.
that kind of waters down the point that I was trying to make, and you're not being a very good teammate.
They don't like it because they don't like anything because they bitch and moan. They want it to be, they want every course. To your point about the Tournament of Champions, they want every course to be Kapalua.
Okay, so what would this be like in other sports? If it was an NBA game, this game alone, we're going to have the hoop be 12 feet high. And in baseball, what would it be? We're going to have the pitchers not 60 feet and 6 inches away. We're going to have it 45 feet. Throwing
Fences are 500, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, would that be fun for anyone?
It's the one time. I mean,
I know it's the one time, and I know that you're a purist or whatever the hell. I mean, I don't like seeing. It's Mickey Mouse to me.
I just don't like when they get, depending on where they're playing, the heat. The heat of it is when they let the greens get crazy stupid.
Oh, they've done that before.
That's what I like. When you can't hold an approach shot, or they set the pin placement in something that is just, it's diabolical, and even
too many mounds and
it rolls off, and you hit a good shot, and they make it too fat. Like, that's where, whatever. I get upset with that. The rough being too thick. Here's the counter with it. Why these guys hit the ball so far now. What gets lost though in the game is you should reward accuracy, or I like to say accuracy. You should reward it. And I think too many times you don't reward it. So listen, you're not putting it in the fairway. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think for this, I think you should be penalized for it.
Okay, but what would be so wrong? And I saw that hole I'm talking about, they're going to play at 289, but there's going to be one day where they play at 301. What would be wrong with just saying, I know it's a U.S. Open, and it'd be cool if we call this a par 3. What would be wrong with calling it a par 4?
Because then it'd be too easy.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be that
easy. A 290-yard par 4 for them?
Aren't there some on tour? Like 10 at Riviera? I mean, aren't there some par 4s that are like that on tour?
I mean, I'm sure there are. I don't know. I've yet to do my homework on all the par 4s under 300 yards on the PGA Tour. I'm going to get back to you on Wednesday.
You got 2 more days before you're talking to Travis from his.
We're talking to Travis. Who are you taking?
Taking Jon Rahm. I'm going to go with Jon Rahm. I like what I saw the last time I saw him, and he was in contention. At the PGA, and so I think I don't think he likes being at the Live. I don't think he enjoys that. I think he's got second thoughts about it. He can't really say it, and so he gets fired up for these majors when they're allowed to play. And I also like that he seems to have his temper under control. I mean, I always got a kick out of watching him because he was fiery, like Terrell Hatton. Hatton doesn't have it under control. he's waiting to go off at any moment. But it seems like Rahm is a guy that gained his composure. He's got maturity. He's got kids now, I think. I don't know, all that stuff. I'm going to put most of my money on John Rahm. I like that he does it with that half swing, backswing that he has, too.
Yeah,
I think that's cool to watch.
That's great. That's great. All right, you're going with John Rahm. I like the John Rahm pick. I mean, I'm just going to go chalk because, in our golf league, you can't use the live
If you
guys,
say
right?
Scotty, everyone's going to turn off the podcast.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I've already used it. I can't use Scheffler anymore. I'm done with Scheffler. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going DeChambeau. I'm going to go back to back.
Okay. Because you feel like he can overpower the course and chop it out of the rough better than other guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like watching him?
DeChambeau? I do.
Okay, I do too, except for on the greens.
You don't like how he putts.
It's just so stiff.
Well, but he's anchoring. That's what I don't like about it. He's
I
anchoring.
know. It doesn't seem fair.
They need to describe and really come up with what anchoring is, because it's not anchoring to his chest. He's anchoring on his arm.
And Adam Scott's a beautiful man, beautiful swing.
Yes,
but when
he
he's
does
on
the same thing.
when he's on the greens, I'm out. I don't want
Yeah.
to watch Adam Scott on the greens.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right. So you're going Rahm. I'm going to go DeChambeau. We'll have Travis Fulton on Wednesday, former analyst, Golf Channel. Now Travis Fulton Golf. He's our golf expert who comes on every week of a major to break it on down, and the U.S. Open gets underway at Oakmont coming up on Thursday. Get your picks in, pucksports.com, Puck the Picker, Majors Pool, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. All right, what are the big plans for today in Bend?
Not too much. My mom, my 95-year-old mom, I'm really looking forward to it. She's coming down Wednesday, so we're trying to get the house fixed up for her, the yard and everything. And so we'll be kind of puttering around doing all that kind of stuff.
Okay, good. Well, stay busy, stay cool. It's like 90 degrees today here in Seattle. Hot.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm coming up next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll stop by and say hello.
Maybe I'll just leave town like you did for me.
Okay. You could do that. You could do that if you'd like. All right.
I'm in town. All right. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right. Love you, Puck. Go Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs. There he is, Jim Moore, the go-to guy, again with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, brought to you by A Clean Streak. Big thanks to Brian Turner for bringing Mr. Jim Moore with us every single week to just, talk about whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. Half the time we don't cover anything, but that's kind of what you sign up for, isn't it? It's what you sign up for when you get both of us together. All right. William Krueger joins me every week. We talk baseball. We do it in the morning because Bill's got a real job and he needs to get out of here. But we talk a lot about the Mariners. We talk about the pitching staff. He does not like the way that the organization has handled them and has handled in terms of their rehab starts. They're in a funk right now. How do they get out of that funk? Bill Krueger, Old School Baseball, with us every single Monday here on the Daily Puck Drop. Bill Krueger is back with us here on the Daily Puck Drop. Of course, Old School Baseball. You can find it on all podcast platforms. By the way, Old School _MLB there on Twitter. We post videos there pretty much daily talking about old school baseball. 13 years in Major League Baseball. That does define him and classify him as old school, doesn't it? You are old school baseball.
Old being the operative word, I think.
You'll like this. We were talking before we recorded. Hit the recording. That I'm more baseball. I'm coaching the Ballard 12U All-Star team. We've got our first scrimmage, actually kind of in your neck of the woods, our first scrimmage tonight against the squad from Eastlake. But you'll appreciate this as an old school baseball player. We've decided to model all of our teams after the high school team, Ballard High School, who finished third in state this year. So our team, a bunch of our 11 and 12-year-olds will all be wearing white knickers with stirrups. These like red and black stirrups. You being an old school baseball guy, probably what you wore all the time as a kid, stirrups and knickers.
Yeah. So, going back in my time, there was the really low stirrup, and then there was the really high stirrup, and then the pants got longer. I grew up in the time of the really high stirrup. So I would have my mom, she would cut the stirrups and then sew an elastic on the bottom of the stirrups so I could pull them up higher.
Yeah.
Because we wanted them really high, all the way up to the knee stirrup. Well,
Yeah.
you could, because our pants were short. So
Most of these kids
a
are
lot
not
of
excited. They're not excited about it.
because they're, it's like, they're making their own statement.
Yeah.
And that's where, and they don't see them. They don't see the big league players wearing them. So they're
No.
like the one goofy guy that's showing a lot of sock with stirrup. He's some reliever, not an athlete looking guy. So they're not vibing with the high stirrup probably.
They all like the Robbie Ray pants. It's like this where they're
Super
kind of
tight.
short, super tight. That's all they like. That's all they like to wear nowadays.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's different times, Bill. It's
we got
not old
nothing
school.
like it when we were growing up. It was here's your pants. Go get them.
This
It's
is
like
all.
we're not sizing you.
This is all you get, and deal with it. All right. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we've talked. How did the golf tournament go? Was it fun?
Well, thank you for asking. Yes, the Madrone School Classic went very well. We had a beautiful day on the 2nd of June up at the golf club at Snoqualmie, and tallied up all in gross revenue because you like to brag. Don't want to talk net, and that's not as much fun.
No,
but we did very well on that side of it. But we're over $180,000 in gross revenue for our first year. So we're really appreciative of the community coming out and participating and learning more about our school.
That's great. Good job. Well, you do such great work in the community, and so I always like to highlight that of what you do. Well, so it's been a few weeks, but in the last week they've gone 1-5. They have fallen out of first place. They now find themselves 2.5 games back now of the Houston Astros, and they're just in that stretch right now where they're just not playing good baseball, and the offense has reared its ugly head. It's been feels like kind of a slow drip here in the last few weeks what's happened to this offense, but it's something that I think a lot of us thought was going to be the reality for the whole season, was how this offense performed. But that wasn't the case in the beginning, but unfortunately it is right now, Bill.
They were getting so much production from other places. It wasn't just, of course, Cal Raleigh's been great all year. We could talk about him the whole show.
Oh, I guess we could.
But they were getting so much at the bottom of the lineup. The Dylan Moore, Rivas, Mastroboni combination was pretty lethal at the bottom of the lineup. And it was they were able to find different people every game, and they initially got, smacked by injury and losing Robles and losing Rayleigh and losing Bliss. And those look like, kind of blows that put you on the mat, but they actually played better after that. They were able to insert Rowdy Tellez, and he played good defense and came up clutch. And then they had this combination in the outfield that worked pretty well. They took a lot of those strikeouts that Bliss was throwing at the club and took them out. And then you've got Rivas and Dylan Moore over there, putting the ball in play and running. And they just they got it going. Moving Crawford to the leadoff spot, that ended up being a really good move because he's having a great year and on base at the top of the league. But then, everybody a little bit more revert to the mean. Everybody seems to have done that sort of at the same time. And they haven't returned anybody into their lineup, which they're kind of dying for right now. They need, and we can talk about this, but in my opinion, the Taveras experiment is over. After watching 2 different instances where he played a horrendous outfield and not really hitting, and they were giving him every day in right field. I think that's over. As soon as Rayleigh gets healthy, it's over. I think they let him go. You saw it yesterday. Mastroboni hit against the left-hander.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to keep Mastroboni, the all over the field guy in the outfield in a 3-2 game.
Yeah, he was real problematic.
Taveras is such a good outfielder. Why doesn't he hit and play right field in the 9th inning? Because he's not a very good outfielder. There's something going on when he goes back to the wall. Because he gets like starstruck and he just kind of sticks his glove up and hopes and prays he doesn't die. That's what it looks like. Yeah. It's happened 2 different times. Of course, the second game, he really gaffed a couple balls. He gaffed one when he came in for Rodriguez, and then he looked lost in right center on a ball off the wall. And it's not the first time. So, and eventually, this is the big leagues. That's what we used to say. It's the big leagues. When guys don't make plays, we say, it's the big leagues. What does that mean? That means you got to make the plays. or you're not in the big leagues. We're not going to this like idea that you can get around it. You can't.
Yeah, it's been problematic for him, and I agree with you. Yeah, once Raley, I mean, they couldn't wait for Raley to get back, soon enough for them. But it's not the only thing, right? I mean, we've talked about Rowdy Tellez. It's Donovan Solano. There's just holes. There's just areas on this baseball team that, again, we talked about a lot in the offseason. We talked about it before the season, but they were able to kind of navigate that in the beginning parts. But it's tough right now. I mean, they're not getting. Listen, I like the glove over at third base. With Williamson, obviously the hitting. I mean, he's hitting for an average, but the power's not there for him. Cole Young got off to a little tough start, but again, it was 1 week. But now it's started to, hit better here in the last few games. But yeah, Rosarina in the first part of the season wasn't doing anything. Maybe it's a good sign that he's starting to hit here in the last few games. He had 2 doubles there on Sunday. But yeah, it's been a real slog for them offensively.
And the whole idea is you need to be somewhere in the middle, offensively, and they kind of are based upon such a huge start. They're kind of sitting in the middle, but they've spent the past 6 weeks toward the bottom, and everything kind of finds its level if your pitching returns about the same time, and their pitching hasn't quite returned. We saw George Kirby, and we could talk about how brilliant he was yesterday. Bryce Miller has not yet returned to form, and Logan Gilbert is still in AAA right now, getting ready to pitch. This is the calling card of this team. Particularly when you talk about Gilbert, Kirby, and Castillo. That's the calling card, and they just don't quite have that collective together. Now they got some great pitching out of Logan Evans, and we can talk about why he should have stayed in the big leagues. Emerson Hancock. They lost some games because they gave up on him so quick. I can't believe that they waved a magic wand over him AAA, and then suddenly he was a different guy when he came up. Oh, he's so much different now. He's changed this and he's changed that. It's like, no, he didn't. You pulled the plug on him. You panicked and went to some guy that was an imposter of Luis Castillo, who couldn't pitch in the big leagues. So the pitching has got to get back. And in my opinion, and we can talk about how I think they should have managed the rotation. I've been of the opinion, and I think it's starting to play itself out, that this idea, Jason, of rehabbing, I don't care how good you are, you can't miss time and then just rehab in the big leagues. And then listen to the commentary. Well, that's 60 pitches. That's probably going to hit for him. Oh, that's 72 pitches. What are we talking about here? You play to win. You don't play to hit your pitch count. Are we going to have guys running poles in the outfield or after they get done pitching? What is this, spring training? That's what you're treating it like. We finally got Kirby back, but guess what? That's just about where he turned the corner. Probably to start before 5 turns. He was ready to pitch in the big leagues. But in the meantime, he had to rehab him twice. And he didn't pitch very well, did he? Bryce Miller still hasn't got his arm strength up. Took 2 weeks off. Didn't throw in the AAA. This is what you get. And you got Logan Evans, who just got done Maddoxing somebody and pitched 6 innings, 8 innings. He stays in the big leagues for me. You guys, you get hurt. It's too bad. Maybe in Bryce Miller's situation, maybe he needed some hot stuff or some anti-inflams, and maybe say, look, I need a little bit of break between turns, and I pitch. Because when you take 2 weeks off, you got to go rehab. Sorry, that's how it works. You can't do it. So, and there was a way around it. Wu could have pitched on turn. Castillo, who's got a generational arm, could have pitched on his turn instead of pitching on his 6th day and 7th day. There was a way to do it and keep Bryce Miller in AAA. There was a way to do it. And Kirby could have stayed there, and Emerson Hancock could have been here. That would have been a better fit. Now, and maybe that's just all. It's easy to look at it now, but I was saying the same things on my little, X performances. That's exactly what was going to happen, and that's what happened. They get their collective group back, and we don't know exactly when Gilbert's going to pitch.
Right.
But those will he be ready to pitch? Will it be, we're shooting for 68 pitches? Come on, it's the big leagues. Stop with the 68 pitches, the 72 pitches. You should come to the big leagues, Jason, ready to pitch 7 innings. If you can't pitch 7 innings, as a starter, as a bona fide starter, not a guy that's like patching a hole at the bottom of the rotation. Then you better pitch 5. Let me give you a little idea. When I was in Milwaukee, in between kind of my starting career, where I got back in the big leagues, and they asked me to be the jack of all trades, and I would sit out there, and who knows when I was going to pitch. And sometimes I'd spot start. Well, I'd be out in the bullpen. I'd pitch a couple innings here. Maybe I'd have to mop up a couple games, and then all of a sudden, one of our starters gets hurt, and I went right in the chute and threw 5 innings against the Yankees. Stop with this pitch count stuff. Stop it.
What would you do moving forward with this group? There's been talk of a 6-man rotation. Are you in favor of that? Do you like that or no? You would want them to avoid going to a 6-man rotation.
I don't like it. I think guys need to stay on turn. We have off days. You can't stay sharp. What I would do is I would take Emerson, Hancock, and I put them in the middle of the game because we're short on talent. Newsflash. Once you get past, Brash and Munoz and Spire, and Vargas has been a really nice find.
Yep.
You get past that, and we're short. And we've gotten exposed because our starters haven't been able to pitch. We need a guy like Hancock to pitch through the lineup.
Yeah.
You could have a guy out there, a Shigetoshi Hasagawa, Bobby Wells, Jose Pinheiro. You could have a guy like that can pitch through the lineup. What a novel idea! Throw 3 innings in the middle of the game,
like a 2-inning guy, like a 2-inning guy.
He could give you the lineup. He could pitch you through the lineup and give you a couple innings, 2 1/3, 3 innings. I know that baseball hates that because they want to play chess. Ooh, we want to change a pitcher every inning. Ooh, we want to change a pitcher. Stupid. If your guy's pitching well, leave him in the game. Newsflash, novel idea. And then you don't have to use as many guys. Oh, another novel idea.
What would you? Is there a particular guy you would want to do it for? Do you want to piggyback Hancock off someone, or would the Hancock usage be for everyone?
I think you just have him out there, and he has an opportunity to pitch in longer stretches.
Okay.
And he has a few days off, and he pitches again. And granted, I mean it's something that, they would talk to him about it. But you got Logan Evans. He's your ace in the hole. He stays in AAA. He needs innings. He's young. He stays. He keeps pitching on turn. This is just my opinion. I think we need a guy in the bullpen like a Hancock. His stuff would jump. The best pitchers on the team are your starting pitchers. Okay, you don't even get close to the top 5 pitchers till you get to the end of the bullpen. Let's not kid ourselves. Your top 5 pitchers are the best pitchers you have. So if Emerson Hancock's your number 5 pitcher, he becomes a very important piece for you in the bullpen. You have just made a great addition to your bullpen.
Who do you like more between the two, between Evans and Hancock?
They're different. But they both pound the strike zone, which I like. They don't have to win off the strike zone; they can win in the strike zone. I think Evans is a guy that, as he gets around the league, he's going to have to throw his fastball more, or they're going to sit breaking ball, and he's going to get hit around. Okay, right now nobody sees a guy that throws 80% off speed. You just don't see it. And he doesn't have to. He's got 93, 94. And if he got his hand behind the ball a little bit, got behind the baseball a little bit, he'd throw that more often. And that would be good for him to do, because as he's shown everybody that he can throw breaking stuff at any point in the count, and he's got different angles on his breaking ball, that if he can throw his fastball a little bit more, he's going to be a much better pitcher. Hancock's more traditional. Sinker, changeup, little breaking ball, pitch in the strike zone, sneaky quick. Not a big strikeout guy, which isn't a problem for me. I like guys that pitch in the strike zone and make the defense play. It's not some like pity play. Oh, he's not very good because he gives up a lot of contact. It's like, I don't know. If you're a starting pitcher and you want to pitch deep in games, which by the way is the most important thing for the pitcher to do, as much as baseball doesn't want that, you got to be able to challenge people in the strike zone and use your defense. That's just good baseball. So I guess I didn't answer your question. I don't know which one I like better. I probably like Hancock better. Okay. I like Hancock.
Okay. George Kirby's performance. We talked about it, briefly a little bit, just about how this was kind of where he was going to be at, like in his rehab. leave him down there. But he performed great on Sunday against the 14 strikeouts, 0 walks. There's only 2 other pitchers in the history of the organization have done that. Randy Johnson and Mark Langston. What did you see out of his performance on Sunday? And then just moving forward, the first couple were a little rough, but again, he's coming off, having not pitched. But what did you see from Sunday's performance, and which excites you about him moving forward?
He just got behind the baseball. We started seeing his fastball life and command come back a little bit in the middle of his last start. And then this start, he had fastball calling card, and he could do whatever he wanted. He could hit the top line. He could drive his two-seamer in on righties. He could swing it back over the outside corner on righties. Now, they featured 7 right-hand hitters. So this was like the way that the lineups that these kids have been pitching against for the past 2 years looked a lot like that across the league. Now you're seeing all kinds of left-hand hitting. So this was an easier lineup for him to face, because they had so many right-hand hitters. His slider's a much better pitch than his curveball right now, much better. And you saw that his slider was tight, and he had great command, a great feel. You could feel the rhythm. He just had that rhythm going. He's behind the baseball, getting and going, and doing whatever he wanted out there. Now, he gives up a 2-run homer, and you could say, well, homers happen, and they do. But that's sort of the risk reward. These kids all want to pitch to the top line, pound, climb. And you know what? I would look up Ward. I would see his profile, and I'd say, 2 strikes, maybe let's try to hit the corner. Let's try to hit the outside corner. And maybe you don't get a strikeout. Slider to Trout, bad pitch. We're nitpicking here. He was overwhelming. He overwhelmed them. He dominated him. He was brilliant. He was ahead all day. He just had great fastball command and a very, very good slider. And you could see a confident person really starting to remember what it's like, man. He got back up on the bike, and he remembered how to ride it. Just like every spring when we pulled it out of the garage, we remember how to ride that bike. And muscle memory started taking over, and you can pedal and brake and steer and do everything without even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So that was what I saw. A good bike riding by Kirby showed you that if for some reason you thought there was some doubt about his talent, there isn't one. Now, left-hand hitters, he's got some work to do. What's it going to be? These guys all throwing the split. Isn't it interesting? Now, I don't think Kirby's shoulder issue is the split, but I'll tell you what, Logan Gilbert and Bryce Miller, they're both having elbow problems because of the fork ball they're throwing. Okay? It's why you've heard them talk. You've heard them talk around it. It's the split that's causing their arm problem because it's tightened up their forearm. I'm not saying they shouldn't throw it. I'm more of an opinion when you got a gift like those guys have and you got breaking stuff, learn to get behind the changeup. Learn the circle changeup. Learn a changeup that you're just backspinning. Learn a changeup where you get soft contact. You got other weapons. You don't need another weapon.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I think they'd be better served by. But that's a harder changeup to throw, and it's not a swing and miss changeup. And everybody talks about whiff, and you know how I feel about whiff.
You're a big fan.
Not high on whiff. Not a big fan.
Only
matters at 2 strikes.
You know what you're high on? You know what you're excited about? Let's end it here because we could do this. We could have spent 20 minutes on him. He hits 2 more home runs on Saturday. Yes. He's up to 26 now. He finally got a day off on Sundays, his first full day off. I mean, we're running out of words to describe the season for Cal Raleigh, aren't we?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the guy brings his lunch pail. He's humble and he's tough, and he just he gets hit by a pitch or nicked by something behind a plate. Just rubs a little dirt on it, keeps going. There's no drama queen out there, which is so popular across all sports. The guys, they go down like they've been shot by a sniper, and they have to be carried off, and then 5 minutes later they're full speed on the floor or on the field. I'm like, what?
So right.
He sets such a nice high bar for being tough and being resilient and being a leader of the team, to have the respect. But what is very noticeable is how smart he's become as a hitter. He has tightened up the holes in his game offensively at the plate. His right-hand side has gotten better. His left-hand side is his on-base percentage is what? 60 points higher, 70 points higher than his career. He's hitting over his career average, something like 50 points higher. And then the slugging numbers are just crazy, right? And then I sit there, and I mean, honestly, Jason, I need at the end of the year to put my resume together and go to all 30 plus teams and say, I'm a pitch strategist and you need to talk to me because all you people don't know what you're doing. I don't understand why I would even mess around with him on the inner half. What are you messing around with him on the inner half? You have to hit it perfect. You have to slice that thing right in there, just on the edge above his hands. What are you doing? And how many times have we seen it? Mistake homer, mistake homer, mistake homer, mistake homer. Hey, take a single to the left. Hey, make him prove it. He can hit it in the bullpen to left center. But, this is not uncommon because our kids don't run the game. They are spinning and pounding, spinning and pounding. They're not even thinking. But, to his credit, I'm not trying to take anything away from him because for me, he's the MVP. Judge plays in a Williamsport ballpark and he stands in right field. Come on. Who's demanding more? When the shortstop and the catcher hit, they're the MVPs. If you're a great shortstop or catcher and you hit like he's hitting, you're the MVP. He's the MVP. Sorry. Aaron Judge, you're not the MVP. He's having a better year than all those guys. He's having a better year than Judge. He's having a better year than Ohtani. He brings more to the table. Yeah. And he plays 100%. In a big park. Yeah. He's Thurman Munson with Piazza numbers.
Yeah. He's been great. It's been great. And it's just so much fun to watch and so much, it's fun to watch of all these milestones that he's hitting. And I agree with you 100% when we get into the MVP discussion. Boy, he is not short on opinions. William Krueger, Old School Baseball. Check it out on all podcast platforms, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Follow him on X at @oldschool_MLB. 13 years in Major League Baseball. And here's, whatever's on his mind, he says it. Does not hold back. That's what you get from Old School Baseball. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. We'll talk next week. All right. There he is, Bill Krueger, with us earlier this morning as we catch up with him in the wee hours, right when we get up. And again, not short on opinions is Bill Krueger. Old School Baseball. Check out his podcast. He's got more of those opinions. Follow him also on the social media platforms there on Twitter. And that Twitter handle is oldschool_MLB. We still have Hey What the Puck to end the show, but the latest edition of the Sports Pit is out this week with myself and Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson. 1 hour and 40 minutes. God, it's another long one. Every Monday, well, sometimes we record on Mondays, but every week we give you a little snippet of the show to entice you, if you're not already a Puck's Posse member, to watch to listen to the entire show. You have to be a Puck's Posse member. Go to pucksports.com, sign up, join there. QR code, if you're streaming the show, watching it, that will take you there as well. Again, $5 a month is all it costs. You can sign up. You get a discount for a year. Appreciate all the support. If you have any issues with financials, let me know. Send me an email, puck@pucksports.com, and I'll take care of you. Well, on this week's edition of the Sports Pit, this is really just about me being an idiot. And that's the title of this week's show. As Sandmeyer is calling me, you are an idiot. Because I had one of those weekends where it was the long weekend, especially on Saturday. We detail all of it on this week's Sports Pit, again, with myself, Sandy, and Stretch.
Yes. Let's go to the backstory. What led you and what were the sequences of events?
Let's go to
vodka, then red wine.
Episode 11 of the Sports Pit.
I don't care where you went, but
I'll make it quick.
Neither vodka nor red wine. I'm calling it right now.
So it started, this whole thing yesterday you'll appreciate, this was a long bender. This was a long day. But it started Friday. So Friday, we're in the season of 50th birthday parties, right? That's the season now. Everybody I know is having a 50th birthday party. Mm-hmm. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And now
each one's gotta be just as special.
and graduation. Now there's graduation parties everywhere. So Friday night, it was the 50th birthday party of my buddy Brad Owens over in Queen Anne. Brad Owens was turning 50.
God bless Brad.
Okay. So but
way to keep a straight face.
I have a golf tee time on Saturday, a scramble at 8 a.m.
Where?
For Limback Lumber. It's their appreciation golf tournament they put on for all their vendors, all their people that work, that work
podcasters,
for them. Podcasters,
yes,
influencers,
yes.
Influencers. But it's in Marysville.
Oh,
okay. So we gotta be on the road probably 6:30. Got to be on.
What course?
Cedar Crest.
Also, love it.
Great course.
Love it.
Great course.
Also, who is we when you say we got to be on the road?
Oh, well, the buddies that are playing with me
from Seattle to Marysville, you're carpooling.
Right. Yeah. One lives in Magnolia.
They're driving like this at 6:30.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got a carpool of us, so I could be at my house at 6:35 or 6:30. So, but then Friday night, I'm like, all right, I got to take it easy. I can't stay out late. Just none of this. So but no. Here's the I do.
I 3 in Sandmeyer's book. Yeah, got to take it easy.
I take it okay.
I mean,
exactly.
My God.
But the plan was, because it started at 6:30. The plan was that I'm going to go hard for about 3 hours and then pull the ripcord.
Those always work out great. Those plans always.
Go hard for 3. Then out.
And when you say 3, that's 14 holes, 12 holes, 14, whatever.
But Friday night.
He's talking about the night before.
Oh, yeah.
Go hard, 6:30 to 9:30.
Stretch. Excuse me, Puckett. I'll translate for Stretch. I'm going to do the air quotes thing, which is the worst thing, and people should be shot for doing air quotes.
It's all right.
But I'll do it anyway. Stretch. It's I'm going to have a couple of cocktails
on Friday.
See what happens.
Just a couple. See where it goes. Well,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm like, I got to be out of there by 10. 10 was my, I got to go.
Oh my God.
Hard overs. 12:07 is
12:05 hits, and I'm like, oh my God, it's midnight. Yeah. I gotta get out of here.
And you're giggling. You're giggling at this point.
So then I bail. I gotta go. I'm leaving.
You're also high.
A lot was being passed around. Just everything. I mean, just all of it.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So then it's midnight, but then I forgot.
Oh.
Okay. The Ballard, so the Uber comes. The Ballard Bridge is closed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got a ha with that question on my text.
So I'm like,
you did.
Son of a bitch.
Yes,
so now we got to go through Fremont.
Which pissed me off, by the way. We'll talk about that later.
So now something that should take 10 minutes to get home, it now takes 35 minutes or whatever. You get through Fremont. Fremont's fucking backed up. Yeah. Fremont's it's a fucking war zone down there.
There's a bar on the side of the road. You're stuck in traffic.
So I don't get
dicks.
Get back to 12:45 or so. So the CEO, Kaisa, she stays there. She's like, I'm staying. I'm like, that's fine, no problem. Now I've got this problem, and I'm probably the only person in the world that has this problem. So if I get home, if she's not home, I can't. I'm like a worrywart, so I can't. I won't go to bed. I'll just sit there and I'll be like,
"That's amazing."
I'll stare at the ceiling. I'm like,
"Let's move past
she back
quickly.
Here.
Let's go quickly."
So fine.
I will interject by saying,
More bed.
I've been married almost 20 years.
So dumb.
And I'm telling you, if I didn't come home for 2 days, I don't think my wife would bat an eye. And if she didn't come home for 2 days, I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yeah, well, things, we got caught up. It could be a dumb phrase.
Yeah.
Something happened. I'm like, all right.
Sorry, Mr. Taggart. Guess we got caught up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that suffers from this. I suffer from this stupid
So that
disease.
means no sleep. You didn't
So I'm just
sleep
sitting
very
there
well.
staring at. So finally she rolls in, as she does, if something's banging around in the kitchen at 2 a.m.
She does at 2 a.m.
So she rolls in at 2.
Yeah. Hash browns, eggs.
Hash browns,
totally.
making something,
half a Ruffles bag, potato chips. And
dogs are barking.
Right. Like, God, she's got her mouth full of Ruffles.
Shut up! So then I've set the alarm for 6.
3 hours max.
But
3 hours max.
But of course, the light comes into the freaking house because we're pointing west. So I'm up at 5, just right awake at 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I got 2.5
nothing.
hours sleep.
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
We've all been there. Everybody's
Yeah.
played a hungover round of golf before.
So now I'm thinking, all right, we'll get there, we'll play. It's 8 a.m.
I'll take it easy.
I'll take it easy. Maybe on the back nine I'll have a couple. On the back nine, I'm going to have a couple. That's
God.
it.
It's like
God,
we're
you
talking.
sound stupid. You
My
sound
God.
stupid. telling
This is like
this story.
101.
But
Yeah.
here's
You
the
have-
best part.
You have 1.5 drinks and
Yeah.
you're back. It's the
Yeah.
shampoo effect.
Mass
the-
80.
It's the shampoo effect. You are
So-
back on your lips by
So I
10
don't-
a.m.
No one knows what's going on like this. It's Limback Lumber's putting on, and I'm like, hey, they're like, my buddy's like, it's a charity event. I go, no, it's just like it's an appreciation for their
They're
employees
great people,
and people
though.
that work there, right? And
Mhm.
everyone that does business with them. So my buddy Brian goes to the bar and he comes back with a bucket of Modelo's, and he goes, they're free. I go, what do you mean they're free? He's like, it's all common.
Yeah.
We don't got to pay for a
It's
thing.
Fan Appreciation Day.
They've picked up everything. And we're like, oh, fuck it.
How we
So
get
now,
home.
that's right. So
Right.
then we tell our buddy Chris, sorry, Chris, I know you drove, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to 10 and 2. You're gonna
corner
have to
him.
like,
You corner him.
yeah,
You'd
we're
be
like,
hey,
you got
man.
to take one for
Yeah.
the team.
Yeah,
On the fourth
yeah.
green. Yeah, listen, we were talking.
Yeah, and you and your buddy
it
are
shows
like
you.
Yeah, you and your buddy are like Bob and Doug McKenzie in Strange Brew. It's over.
So the Modelo started about 8:05,
Yeah. Unders. Yeah.
And it
yeah,
just
yeah.
runs-
7:30.
Yeah.
and it just runs
Exactly.
all the way through. The golf gets over at I don't
Mhm.
know 1, 2,
It doesn't matter.
2. Then
You
I
don't
got
even know.
Yeah.
2:00. So then we got to get back to
Ish.
Seattle. So then we're getting back to Seattle. That's an hour drive traffic. I
No
Then-
stop at any casino on the way home?
No. But that's where they're all. We're going to the Toledo. God, should have gone there. Then I got a graduation party at 3 for the Fuels. Tommy Fuel graduating Ballard High School to go to Cal Raleigh. So now we've got that. So then I get home. I'm allowed a 10-minute nap. Then back
Allowed.
Then back into the car to head over to Tommy Fuel's graduation party.
Shower? Did you shower? You didn't obviously
Did he
shave.
shower? No shower.
way.
Now I'm contemplating: do I just run it through, or can I take a little bit of a breather?
Are
I
you
gotta
kidding
take
me? You have to run it through, and you absolutely do not take a breather.
So I
No,
took a
because you
breather
get-
for 10.
10
then-
minutes?
That's
10
not
minutes.
a breather.
That's not a breather.
a breather
That's
is an hour and a
Yeah.
half. Is a
Yeah,
I
breather.
think
yeah,
10
like,
minutes is a breather.
No,
You are trying
no.
to stay alive.
Yeah,
Like,
so I've
what are you
gone-
talking about?
10 minutes is a breather. You're an alcoholic.
No
And I
kidding.
mean, and I say that in all supportive ways because, like an hour, I get a headache. You got to keep drinking.
Well,
Yeah.
let's- I mean,
Keep
if,
drinking.
listen,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
this is a
The
come to
headache
Jesus,
starts, you're over.
if
Yes,
this is
it's
a come
done.
to Jesus, takes one to know one. Okay, like we're all,
all
in the
of us,
same boat
yes.
here. Okay. What,
So then
multiple parties, multiple beers.
oh,
but
I
I've-
love that you positioned a 10-minute break as
And-
some sort of stoppage in between. That's amazing.
Especially
amazing.
telling the story to us at like 10 minutes. That's enough to like
free
go-
waters.
Go to the bathroom
You know
and
what?
walk the dog.
You are telling a story for your followers, but you're not telling a story for me and Stretch.
No.
That's what's happening. No, I mean, it's plain as day. Oh, I took a 10-minute break.
10-minute break.
Good.
Then right into, so I've got Modelo heavy. Like, it's too much.
Change it up.
I need
Yeah.
to change it up.
Yeah, buckets of Modelo.
What do you got over there? What's in the bucket over there? That's Prosecco. I love Prosecco.
Oh, God.
So let's get into the Prosecco.
Oh,
my
my
It's
God.
hot.
God.
It's refreshing.
Your,
bubbly.
your
It's
liver,
I like a bubbly.
your
Yeah.
liver is going to sue you.
So
This
we
explains today, but keep going.
went
Yeah.
right in,
Yes.
hit the Prosecco a good hard for about an hour and a half. Sitting
Oh,
there,
my God.
back heat, it's hot,
That is gross.
just sweating. So then we leave there around
And-
4:30,
and burping.
4:45. Yeah. We go over to the Mallons. Happy birthday to Sean and Jeremy Mallon. The
Jeremy.
Mallons from Magnolia.
Oh, bless their heart.
Okay,
Yeah.
twins having a dual birthday party,
They
but
love
not,
the Met Market.
Yeah.
not in
yeah.
Magnolia though.
Right. You got to
We
pay.
got to go to Jeremy's house, who lives in fucking Sammamish.
Oh, my God. This
so
is
the
the
day
worst
has
story
started
ever.
to Marysville.
This is,
now
the
I'm
wor-
gonna-
this is the worst story I've ever heard in my life.
so now I'm going to Sammamish.
You didn't ground yourself in either Ballard or Magnolia, and you went all the way to the plateau.
To the plateau.
You're an idiot.
So
by
where
the way,
I am-
you and Kaisa need to sit down and chat about logistics because
Yeah.
this sounds
And
like the worst day ever.
And we're coming over to have a little informational meeting with you both.
So 45 minutes. It's a 45-minute drive where I've I've slept.
Is Uber one of your sponsors?
No. Kaisa drives because she's like, I'll have 2 and we'll be good. Then I'll drive.
Okay, so if you took a 10-minute break earlier, how was that hour-long drive to Sammamish? Did you take a nap?
Yeah, that was a full-on seat back nap.
Or have a couple roadies.
I was going to say Red Cup.
Brought
Red Cups
one.
are legal.
Didn't get to it. Just laid it back. So get there.
Oh,
now
way
the
to go.
Malins.
Way to show restraint.
Thank
Doc.
you.
Way to.
So
Wait,
you're the drunk guy falling asleep in the passenger seat. So you come to, and when you wake up, you're in
We're there.
Sammamish.
We're there.
This is correct.
We have pulled
you
up to
must be
Sammamish.
the smartest sounding guy by this time.
Okay. So what are the Malins like? What's their
Red wine. They love wine.
tequila?
No.
All
Oh
they
my
like
God.
is tequila.
Are you
They
like
light
20
beer,
years? Are you
light beer
27
and
years
tequila.
old?
That's all they like.
Light beer and tequila.
my
Good
God. That's all they
tequila, like sipping tequila.
Good sipping tequila, yes.
Yeah.
But that's all they like.
You are out of your mind.
Are you on an IV right now?
So now we go right when we walk in. It's not even 2 minutes in, not even the hugs to, back to the shot of tequila? Well, sure.
Yeah.
I've slept for 45 minutes. Might as well just get right back on it.
That is impressive right there. But
So
that
right
sounds
into the
terrible.
tequila, chasing with some like
You
Coors
are like-
Lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're Pacific Northwest Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
So it's tequila, Coors Lights, a lot of cornhole.
Modelo.
There's a Modelo in there.
So, Stretch, tell the story about the text thread.
Oh.
From last night?
No,
No,
it doesn't
from
end, though.
today.
It doesn't end.
What-
But it doesn't end.
Okay.
We leave
let me
there
finish.
at 9. We head back to Ballard. Now, Kaisa's like, I didn't have it. I didn't be able to get, I had like one glass of wine. That was it.
By
Let's
the way,
go back.
All of the
over-
details, hold on. All of the
Yes.
details of this story are made up because he doesn't remember anything past noon from the day before.
Yes. Except for this.
He's going through all these details, like we had timelines, we had this and that. You don't remember anything from
I do.
the day before.
Except for the part where his wife says, I'd like some for me now.
Yeah, I would like to sit
I would
back
like
and have
to,
a glass,
yeah.
a couple
I'm
of glasses
back
of wine.
home when you get that feeling of 2 miles
Missed
from
out.
home. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's have a drink. I'd like to
Yeah.
go get a vodka soda.
So we
so
go
Mama takes you where?
we go back to the Fuels, who are having the
shit.
graduation party. Still people there.
Oh yeah.
And we pull back up in the backyard where she has glasses of wine. I've now gone back to the Modelo because there's ice cold Modelo there.
Yeah.
And
Free,
then,
free.
about 4 or 5 brownies that somebody had. So I'm just eating brownies and Modelo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
so you're figuring out all
Yeah.
of the world's problems.
So
Yeah.
you did the worst thing imaginable, which is go on a
Yes.
bender and then hit the weed.
Yes.
No,
And-
there's no weed in the brownies. No weed in the brownies.
Oh,
No,
yeah, they were
no.
just brownies.
No, they
air
were
quotes.
they were just brownies. I promise.
Oh, I'm sure.
And to go.
What?
Just,
Yeah.
just
We
normal
can't talk about that
brownies.
on
Dude,
this.
this
Is this,
is-
No,
this
you
is where the
can't.
line's drawn?
No,
This
no.
is-
They were just normal brownies. There was
This is
nothing in the
this
brownies.
is this is so full of shit. This
I
whole
swear.
story.
Okay.
Swear
All
on
right.
anything.
So your Modelo's in,
Yeah.
and now you've recouped the time. You didn't drink on the way home. So Sandmeyer and I,
No, yes, did.
Sam
yes,
and I,
yes. Had a rodeo on the way.
when we don't drive, I have no problem saying this. It's legal in my car to have an open container. I don't know
Yeah,
if it is
you
in your
used
car.
to have
As
a
long as you're not driving.
first of all,
Correct.
you
If
used to
it's
have a
from a neighbor-
cooler in your car.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
remember that?
You had the
You
cooler.
came with me to the island, someplace.
I came with you to the Georgian Dragon.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're like, hey, before we go in, you want a quick cocktail? And you turn around the back seat, and there's a fucking red igloo
yeah.
cooler, and you had cocktails in there.
Sandmeyer, you okay with that?
Yeah, I
yeah,
accept.
yeah. Yeah, that was a '95 Corolla, I believe.
Yeah,
That's what I could afford on that salary
Oh.
we talked about last week.
So it was a rough morning today.
Wow.
Then we had baseball practice at 11, and now I'm rolling into that like butter.
You're looking yellow.
breathe 'em.
Yeah,
You're like
yellow.
you are Walter Matthau
Yeah.
from Bad News Bears. You
Just-
are a complete derelict. We've
First-
gone 17 minutes, 54, 55, 56, going on 18 minutes of you talking about your bender. This is amazing.
First, the first 3 fungo hits.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what happened?
Yeah, you hit the pitcher.
No, just
He didn't hit a ball.
missed the first one.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then the next 2, the backspin goes 2 feet. Like,
You
all
are
right.
Walter.
I go,
Walter Matthau.
I said, I go loud. I go, reset.
Yeah. And these are all stars. These are good ball players, and they're looking at you like,
like,
yeah.
Dude,
Thanks, coach.
One of them was like, can you just throw it?
Yeah, I love that kid.
And they're showing up on a Sunday,
Right.
and you are, as we say, blowing booze.
Yeah.
Blowing booze.
Did you
And
have
you were-
a
and
helper today? Did you drink
No helpers.
anything?
That was the
Yeah.
helper. No, just a lot of water.
And the beads of sweat on your temple were 90% Modelo.
so
was
much
warm.
Out of the temples.
Just-
You were miserable. So that brings us to changing the schedule today because you
Tell
were
the story, Stretch.
you were sacked out. So 6:30, I'm all jacked up. I'm fired up.
Yeah,
And
so
then all of a sudden-
tell them the text. Tell them the text. The original Stretch. Start from
the original
beginning.
text.
Tell the story from the original text.
From when I send
No, the one last
Shoreline's
night.
happy to be involved. No. Last night, you'll hate this, but this is
6:30. Let's go. 6:30 sharp.
God, it was.
Oh,
6:30
right.
sharp. Let's do
6:30
this.
tomorrow. Sure. You'll hate this, but this, comma, every week I've had the most fun for me. I know this is probably an inconvenience for you
Drunk
guys
text.
at times.
You got a drunk
but
text from Puckett.
Thank you. And I just wrote,
Mhm.
Shoreline's happy to be involved. Laughing in my life is needed. And then I didn't know, then I got dead silence. And then all of a sudden today at 3:30, it's 7:30 work. No question mark. Had a few cocktails last night. Sorry for the poor punctuation.
Read the whole thing. My response, everything.
Sandmeyer says, fuck off, 7:30 works. I wrote, ha ha ha, fuck off and lucky you, 7:30 cool. Where's the link? That's the best part at 7:29. I
Right.
read that flying home from my cousin's house. Where's the link, dipshit? That's basically what Sandmeyer writes. Just sent
Correct.
the link.
Correct.
And it's just like, so
Right. We are 20 minutes in. How have we done so far on this episode?
Wonderful.
it's well.
Are you gonna
going
finish
well.
it saying it's the best episode ever, Puck?
Well,
Mhm.
it's shaping up to be the best one.
yeah.
So well, gosh, I don't know where to go. I had questions, but this has thrown me all off. Yeah.
Well, fire away.
Hour late. Huh.
Hungover. God.
Hungover, hour late. This
You
is
tell me right
yeah.
now. No, I need
fat,
for
drunk,
you.
and stupid ain't a way to go through life, son.
I need for
You know?
you. I need for you to
I'm just
look at
joking.
me through this computer and be honest right now.
You ain't talking to me.
If I poured Jason Puckett, if I poured a frosty pint glass, I mean, like when you pull it out of the cooler, it kind of steams a little bit, and Modelo is on tap, and I just
and Kaisa was out of town.
and I pour it right now, and I just kind of let the head get right up to the top,
Sounds
and I don't like
delicious.
place it in front of you. I put it on the bar and then slide it toward you right now. What would you do?
You
Guzzle
taken?
Guzzle it. Oh, yeah.
Guzzle it.
Because I've already had
Jesus.
two
What
about
are you-
2 hours ago because I had
what
to
are you-
drop off some shirts for another Ballot All-Star team, and they're like, "Yeah, beer." I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, stinger.
Hair of the
Stinger.
dog.
Throw one, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll throw one.
Good
in.
for you.
A quick
Yeah.
snoot.
Yeah,
Quick snooze.
just to kind of relax the body a little bit.
Shot?
We know we
Did
have
you have a
this
shot of
tonight.
half a shot of Crown to
No,
No.
take the kicker? No.
What was he? Prosecco. What was you?
Yeah,
What were you doing?
Prosecco.
Wow.
Jesus, you're
That kicks your ass.
I
You
love a
are
good
a-
prosecco,
you
No,
are a full,
nobody. Everybody does,
but
but
then
that
have tequila
just,
later after it.
Yeah.
That's
you
too
are a
much.
full blown idiot. A
Yeah.
full
Yeah,
blown idiot.
that's rough, man. Prosecco, that's the worst hangover. You're in Vegas and everyone drinks, starts, and then you add the Prosecco and the tequila, and you're just.
You
I
are
was
a
in bed
full
one time in
blown-
Vegas until like 5 p.m. And my buddy finally guilted me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I just threw up. So, that's what I'm doing." And this was 10 years ago at least.
Can you
But
still?
Prosecco is a.
Can you both recall like your worst hangovers? Like, is there the one that stands out?
Yeah,
the
it's called
most?
Jägermeister. Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
prayed.
Oh.
I prayed to the big man. You get me through tonight,
Yeah,
and I'll take a few weeks off.
never
and I
again.
I went like 28 days because the Jägermeister. That was
Must-
the first the Jägermeister.
It's like DJ Quick. I never drink again if you just let me live. My 30s would be my answer
Yeah.
to that question.
And what was it?
No, his whole 30s.
The whole
It was
30s.
his
The whole
My
30s.
entire-
When I worked with him. Yeah.
Whole shebang.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 30 to 38.
Yeah, all of it.
Sounds about right.
I wish that is God, I wish people knew that that's actually an 8-year
Well, I
run.
wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it's awesome. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. Well, good for you. So you took a nap, and how are you feeling now?
Good.
Not to sound like
Feel great.
You look terrific.
Okay, good.
I know.
You do look pretty good. You have
do I
decent
look?
color. You don't look
Yeah.
yellow. I was
A lot of
expecting
sun.
yellow.
A lot of sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How do you do in the sun when you're hungover? That sounds awful.
Oh.
Did you have a rag over your
It
head?
was
or
so,
anything?
and it was when our practice was started at 11.
Oh.
11 to 1.
yeah.
That's like the hottest time. That the sun is beating down on
It's
you.
not the hottest. Fuck it.
5 p.m.
yeah.
5:07 p.m. in Seattle on a hot summer day
Yeah.
is hotter than the sun.
Yeah. Three.
Why
3 to
is
5.
that?
3 to 5. 3 to 5. Yeah. 3 to 5.
And people that are listening know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you want to hear more of the Sports Pit from this week with myself, Sandmeyer, and Matt Stretch Johnson, please go to pucksports.com. Sign up to be a Pucks Posse member for as little as $5 a month, and you're going to hear the rest of the show. That was only 20 minutes. The entire show was 1 hour and 40 minutes. We got more on Tim Lincecum. We spent, I can't, and I'm trying to recall how we even got onto Tim Lincecum, but some great stories from Sandmeyer, who covered Lincecum when he was in college, won the Golden Spikes Award. That's the Player of the Year. It's the Heisman Trophy for baseball. He had a front row seat. For those who don't know, Sandmeyer was the voice of Husky baseball for 14 years, I think. We talk about last week's Sports Pit, revisiting that as they sat down with their good buddy Mitch Levy for the first time in 20 years. So all of it available, full episode, Sports Pit, Pucks Posse. Go to pucksports.com, sign up, join today. You get that. You get Mitch's appearance on Thursdays. You get Ryan Divish's appearance. That happens on Wednesday, plus the overall support of Puck Sports and the Daily Puck Drop. All right, before we get on out of here, and we've got Hey What the Puck, which is going to bleed right into the U.S. Open, which is this week, and our coverage of golf, all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Puck the Picker Majors Pool is back, brought to you by SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. Tired of that muddy backyard? Look at this beautiful backyard. Look how pretty it looks with that 3-hole putting green. Tired of the cost of watering your lawn? Synthetic Turf Northwest is pet-friendly. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, give you a golf green installation as well. Sign up today, SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. Our big thanks to Synthetic Turf Northwest and SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. Again, they bring you all of our coverage for Puck the Picker Majors Pool. And again, Father's Day this week. Get your father the perfect gift this year. Getting him a new lawn, a putting green from Synthetic Turf Northwest. Your dad doesn't want to mow the lawn anymore. He's tired of it. He's tired of watering the lawn. Get his weekends back. Synthetic Turf Northwest is going to help you do that. He doesn't ask for much, your dad. He doesn't. All he wants is peace and quiet and a brand new lawn and putting green from Synthetic Turf Northwest. So again, get the perfect Father's Day gift this year. No more cards, no more ties, no more socks, nothing. He wants a new lawn and a putting green. So go visit SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. When you're there, give us a reference. Say, hey, I heard it on Puck Show. I heard it on the Daily Puck Drop. I heard it on Puck Sports. All right. Go visit them today. Again, SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. Get those picks in. Again, if you're late to the party, you're going to be out of the grand prize. But for those who have been playing Puck the Picker Majors Pool, get your picks in for this week. Again, first place stay and play package at Gamble Sands for 2. You've got 2 rounds of golf, by the way. Second place, a foursome at Fairwood Golf and Country Club. Third place, a foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. Fourth place, a foursome at one of Troon's Seattle Premier courses, plus an hour Top Tracer range session at either Interbay Jackson or Bill Wright. Bill Wright, formerly Jefferson. By the way, Travis Fulton, our golf instructor, golf analyst, he joins us every week during the Majors Week. Again, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Travis, of course, is a golf instructor, used to be on the Golf Channel. TravisFultonGolf.com is the website. All right, let's sign out of here. Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services, locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, North Seattle franchise. To piggyback on what Bill Krueger said, and I quote, Aaron Judge is playing in a Williamsport Park and stands in right field. Now, he's being a little tongue-in-cheek. But as this season goes on and the summer goes on, and the Mariners have got to stay relevant, and I think that they will, but they've got to be contending for a playoff spot. They can't fall apart. The national headlines obviously will favor Aaron Judge because he's wearing pinstripes and he plays in New York. And it's nothing to take away from the incredible player he is and season he is. But to get the ballpark out of it for a second, to anyone's point, if they put up similar numbers offensively, and if he is in Raleigh, the ballpark in terms of numbers, there is no comparison when it comes to the full arsenal of what they do on the field. Cal Raleigh plays the toughest position in the sport. And it's not close. He plays in right field. Cal Raleigh plays behind the deck. And that has got to carry weight with voters as it continues to move forward. Still an uphill climb for him. We've devalued it for some reason. What he is doing this year as a baseball player offensively certainly gets all the headlines. You see it splashed all across MLB Network. But what he does behind the plate, how he handles this pitching staff. It's the best defensive catcher, top 3, top 4 defensive catcher in the game. And then at the same time, he's Jim Thome. It's unbelievable what he's doing this year. It's amazing that on Sunday was his first actual full day off. You're witnessing one of the greatest seasons ever of an individual season ever by a Seattle Mariner. And not only just that, you're witnessing right now, and it's going to be a fun summer, perhaps the greatest season ever a catcher has put together in Major League Baseball. That's something special. I'll tell you what, the puck brought to you by Restoration 1 in North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Thank you for everyone watching today. Thank you to all the sponsors, Limback Lumber, Clean Streak, Georgetown Brewery. Check out their new Tavern Beer, by the way, and Restoration 1. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Also find it on your favorite podcast platforms and up at pucksports.com. When you're there, please sign up, become a member of the Pucks Posse. Just $5 a month. You support all the free content. Plus, you get VIP and bonus shows as well. We take care of you. Just sign up today at pucksports.com. Those bonus shows, MLB Insider, full show, Ryan Divish every week. The Sports Pit with Sandmeyer and Stretch, that is out right now. And Mitchy the Kid, Mitch Unfiltered, every Thursday. He joins us during the live show, but once the live show is over, he is available only for Pucks Posse members. And now, we produce the Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast, where you can find on YouTube and all podcast platforms. That comes out later today, and you can find it up at pucksports.com. Appreciate all the support, as always. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Stay cool. We'll see you for Tuesday's show. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!